This is the Government Week in Review for the week ending Friday, October 13th, 2023. I am Rikisha St. Louis. In the headlines, rehabilitative work commenced on Phase 1 low-income housing units. Ministry of Health clears the air on concerns of workers at Mount Gay Hospital, and the Royal Grenada Police Force recruits 41 in course 47. We'll have details to these and more after the break.
Prepare for hurricane, prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane, your hair prepare for hurricane.
Welcome back. Grenada will, on October 19th, engage in a national ecumenical service and other activities to commemorate the lives lost during the tragic events of October 19th, 1983. The day will now be known as National Heroes Day. Chair of the National Celebrations Committee, Jackie Alexis, says the National Heroes Day has been widely welcomed since the announcement was made by Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell during a press conference on September 19th. Ms. Alexis says Grenadians at home and in the diaspora see the decision as one that reflects acknowledgement of our history taken seriously. The events to mark the day is one that will allow for reflection and remembrance, as it is twinned with the 40th anniversary of the revolution.
For the 19th, we have planned an activity that will take place at the Kirani James Athletics Stadium. Starting at 9 a.m. on the 19th, we will begin with an ecumenical service, which will include readings from family members of those who would have lost their lives on the 19th. Obviously, our church leaders will lead the service, and then we will move into the second part of that morning's activity, which will include presentations, cultural presentations from our national folk group. We will also have PBC Boys Choir. We will have a poetry section. And we've also got, which I'm really excited to get to see actually, we're having a scene from the production Redemption Time by Urias Peters, which actually opens at La Vgh'n on the 20th of October. And they're doing a short scene which revolves around the activities and the events of the 19th of October 1983.
Following the ecumenical service, there will be speeches made to include an address from Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell.
We will have some remarks by family members. We will have remarks by members from the Maurice Bishop October 19th Martyrs Foundation, who we have had extensive consultation with around this event. And also we will have an address by our Prime Minister, Honourable Deacon Mitchell. And that will finish off that section of the day.
The activities, she says, will not end on conclusion of the National Ecumenical Service at the stadium.
At 1 o'clock, there will be a tolling of all church bells right across the Tri-Island State. And at that time, we are asking the nation to join us in a minute's silence. So wherever you are on the island, wherever you are, whether you're actually working that day or you're at home, at 1 o'clock when you hear the church bells ringing, this is the opportunity for us as a nation to stand and honour the events of 19th October 1983 with a minute's silence. So we're asking for the indulgence of our citizens in that. And then the final part of the day will be at 7 p.m. and that will be on the carriage, where we will hold a candlelit vigil. And it really is just another moment to assemble, to gather together as you know, as one people, as one unified nation, to come together and again mark this that solemn occasion. And that would end the activities for that day.
Interested persons can contact the Parliamentary Office if they require transport to attend the National Ecumenical Service. Rehabilitative work has commenced on the Grenada China low-income housing units at Frequency as part of efforts by the Grenada Housing Authority and government to ensure residents are safe and comfortable. Work includes the sanding, sealing, repainting and welding of roof frames and other supporting structures over the staircases that are rusty and leaking. Upon completion, engineers from Shelter Solutions Company Limited will work on stabilizing and sealing the roof sheeting. Over $2 million has been set aside to undertake renovation on all low-income housing units under Phase 1, Soubise, Mount Gay and Frequency. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs with responsibility for the strategic and operational management of the general and subsidiary hospitals, Naomi Jeremiah, has cleared the air on a number of concerns of community mental health workers and the representing union that led to recent industrial action. Some of the concerns include the need to increase the rates of traveling allowance for qualified workers, the provision of cellular phones and SIM cards, and a call for a meeting with the Minister for Health. On the issue of the travel allowance, PS Jeremiah explained that the majority of workers based on the DTO policy only qualify for non-DTO rates of $350 to $400. The Department of Public Administration has indicated that positions that are currently not being provided for under the existing policy will be placed in the 2024 estimates of revenue and expenditure.
The non-DTO rates are $2.25 per mile. It was $1.75. Now the authority is $2.25. I asked the workers to prepare the information. It's not just paying. It's like they have to prepare the claims, bring it to the ministry. The ministry will process it, and Ministry of Finance will make the payment. However, 6 persons out of the 10 had prepared payments for mileage. It was submitted to the ministry. The ministry took a few months, we agreed, to process, but they have processed most of them. In fact, only yesterday we received 3 additional payments, which was already entered to date, and finance will process.
A recently signed collective bargaining agreement between the union and government indicates that only senior administrative officers are granted DTO positions. The Ministry of Health continues to work along with the staff at the Mount Gay Hospital to amicably resolve the matter.
As administrator acting, I want to thank the community mental health workers, of course, for their continued hard work and initiative, and I want to encourage them that we still have work to do, and let us persevere to ensure that we meet our goals and objectives, and that is to provide quality service to the Grenadian public, especially to those whom we minister to.
Administrator of the facility, Father Edward Mark. This is the Government Week in Review. When we return, we will talk about the challenge of cybercrime.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water, so it is crucial for all of us to conserve water at home. When washing my fruits and vegetables, I use a bowl of water, and later I reuse it to water my plants. This is how I save water at home. What are you waiting for?
Welcome back. Education Minister Senator the Honorable David Andrew was among several members of Parliament and ministers of government who visited secondary schools across Grenada to lend support to the subject of cybercrime awareness, with cybercrime being a troubling issue. Annette Moore has the details in this report.
Education Minister Senator the Honorable David Andrew was among several members of Parliament and ministers of government who visited secondary schools across the state of Grenada to ensure cybercrime awareness, as cybercrime is a prevalent issue. According to the Webster's Dictionary, cybercrime is any criminal activity as fraud or theft committed using a computer, especially to illegally access, transmit, or manipulate data. Honorable Andrew visited Wesley College on September 29th, along with the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Elvis Moraine, and IT Officer Kate Decoto. The Education Minister addressed the students about building their school's brand, their self-worth, making smart decisions, and avoiding cybercrime.
Anything that you do that violates the right of somebody else can be easily considered a crime, particularly if it's written in law. And when you talk about cybercrime, you're talking about using any computer system means, or using the internet, or using all of these online modalities to perpetuate acts of crime. So there are often several reasons why people do this. And you are living and growing in an age where technology is the order of the day. Every one of you probably own a smartphone. One that's probably smarter than mine. You're on TikTok, you're on Snapchat, you're on all of those platforms. And sometimes people use this tool even for acts of bullying. So somebody has a video that is really demeaning about somebody else, but we quickly spread it around to everybody in our contact list. I mean, you may say that's not a crime, but really and truly, there's a crimes bill that indicates that if you mishandle people's private information, could be an act of, is a criminal activity too. But how could you protect yourself from that? Please be mindful, be watchful. Don't just click on everything you see. You need to be determined about what your values are. If you will not like it to be done to you, don't do it to somebody else. Parliament and the Ministry of Education, I want to wish you success in all that you do, both as students and as teachers.
Decoto led a highly interactive information session on the safe use of technology and the internet, with a focus on cybercrime.
Have you ever been playing games online and you're asked to submit your credit card information or personal information to win this or to win that or to get more coins or something like that? Yeah, and you went ahead and do it because you trust those sites, you trust those people. Do you know about CERT in Grenada? Cyber Security Incident Response Team. This team is responsible for investigating cyber attacks in Grenada, right? They have reported thousands of dollars being lost by victims in Grenada for the year, together with the FIU. There was an instance where a student used their parent credit card information to buy coins from a game. And what happened? Mommy started losing money from our account.
Students displayed keen interest in the topic of cybercrime, asking many questions for clarification, while at the same time getting much-needed answers to help protect themselves.
So you have to be smart. You have to be smart. Education is very important. There's a lot of those attacks happening now. So protect yourself by educating yourself. There is an electronic crimes bill, right? And for sharing illegal private content that minister spoke about, you can be convicted. I'm not sure of that particular one, but the conviction rate starts from like 25,000 to 300,000 or imprisonment.
What if someone gets into your account or email and you haven't giving them enough information?
There are two things that can happen here. Someone can hack into your account and block you from getting into your account. And identity theft here, pretend they are you and send out messages to a number of your friends, maybe to solicit money or to just cause damage. You don't just give the internet your personal information. We're good at doing that on Facebook, sharing all sorts of information. Hey, we're on vacation, but the thief watching and then you go in your house. Right?
For the GIS Week in Review, I'm Annette Moore.
41 individuals, 10 females and 31 males were confirmed as successful applicants of recruit course number 47, paving the way to officially become members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. As part of the preparation process, the recruits underwent hybrid theoretical and practical induction training sessions. Commandant of Police Training School, Tafawa Pear, encouraged the recruits to take the training seriously, as it is the foundation of what's to come as officers.
This course, like the previous, follows a hybrid model of part in person, part virtual, and the other on-the-job training, a model that fits quite well with the current dynamic. Your success is largely hinged on your willingness to embrace the challenges ahead as we reach for excellence. Throughout this 5 weeks in-person segment of training, the design will capture a broad range of subjects retrofitted to prepare you for the job training and virtual phase. Some core foundational subjects will be taught together with practical sessions.
Acting Commissioner of Police Don McKenzie also addressed the recruits.
Your role as police, when you become that, is a force for good. I want to urge you to use this training, because that's what this training is all about. You will not become professional after 4 weeks, but it becomes a building block. Your training would involve theoretical mixed with practical, as well as a monitored and mentored aspect out at the stations. A safe Grenada depends on a well-functioning and professional organization.
In his feature address, Deputy Commissioner of Police Jessamine Prince told the recruits to nurture their minds, as they were chosen among many to serve and enhance the integrity of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Today, you have begun a journey of gaining your own experience, which will require changes in the way you think, changes in your social life, and in some of the many things you enjoy doing before coming into this institution. There will be changes. It's not an easy task to select the right persons to come into the organization. And from all the speakers that go before, you understood fully well that this is serious business. Out of over 500 applications for persons who are desirous of joining the force, you are the top 41. Out of 500 applications, you are the 41 are the top of that list. So I think you should give yourselves a round of applause.
We take a break. When we return, school students to engage in debates soon.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water, so it's crucial for us to conserve water at home. When washing my vehicle, I use a bucket with rainwater that I have stored. This is how I save water. What are you waiting for?
Welcome back. Primary and secondary school students in St. Patrick will show off their debating skills in the coming month. They will debate pertinent issues in a forum that provides an opportunity for young people to receive civic education through a process of practical learning. Details in this report.
The primary and secondary school debate will begin on November 1st at the primary school level. It will be held at the St. Patrick's Anglican School, where students will debate the following. And whereas every primary school student will be assigned to a secondary school regardless of performance on the CPEA. Be it resolved that the common entrance exam be reinstated as the means of assessing the readiness of senior primary school students for secondary schools. This will be followed by debates on the secondary school level on November 2nd, with the resolution, be it resolved that the government of Grenada moves towards extending the normal school day from 8:15 to 4 p.m. to introduce technical and vocational skills at both the primary and secondary levels. Be it further resolved that a shift system be introduced to facilitate this extension. Training at both levels has commenced for the pilot program, which seeks to provide basic education to increase students' competencies in evaluating local issues and forming their own opinion. Recently, Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick West, Honorable Joseph Andel, paid a visit to witness the children's progress and offer words of encouragement. The students at the primary school level are enthusiastic about the upcoming debate, adding that the information shared throughout the training sessions has been quite informative.
I think it's very good and it's a part of the law because people, if you don't have like House of Representatives and thing like parliaments, we wouldn't have people who rule the country.
Their jobs are very important because not only do they have to concern about the surveillance of their country, they have to come out together and debate about the rules that they should put inside of this country.
I learned about Delma Thomas, Keith Mitchell, and I learned about that Delma Thomas was switching.
I like to do the speeches when Miss tells us to in front of the class. I like to speak and I'm a very good public speaker.
Similar sentiments were also shared by those at the secondary school level.
I think that it gives you great exposure and it helps you gain new skills such as public speaking, debating, and I think it's a really good program.
We learn about all the sections in Parliament, all the different positions. I learned about what the speaker has to do.
I wanted to be very great in public speaking and I look good at socializing, so that's why I joined.
My reason for joining is because I want to become an aspiring politician.
My reasons for joining the Youth Parliament is because I have further dreams of becoming a future parliamentarian. I was inspired by Honorable Delma Thomas and her ways of switching from a new parliament office for the Grenadian election 2023.
The participating schools include all schools within the parish of St. Patrick, including the Grenada Christian Academy. From the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture, I am Communications Officer Eugenia Peters.
Wednesday saw the start of a 3-week training course on nursing technology of maternal health for Grenada offered by the People's Republic of China. More in this Blossom Alexis Welsh report.
Wednesday saw the start of the 3-week training course on nursing technology of maternal health for Grenada, offered by the People's Republic of China. Chief Nursing Officer in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Nestor Edwards, says the training aims to improve capacity among nurses and midwives in provision of maternal and newborn care of maternal health in Grenada.
During the next 3 weeks, the participants will be engaged in both theoretical and hands-on training in a number of areas, including identification of critical illnesses in pregnancy, pediatric cardiopulmonary resuscitation, neonatal cardiopulmonary resuscitation, critical illnesses in the neonatal period, caring for the preterm newborn, among others.
The training is being conducted by experts from Hunan Children's Hospital in the People's Republic of China, and this is the first time it is being held in Grenada. Chargé d'Affaires of the Chinese Embassy in Grenada, Peng Wenlin, says this course reiterates the great relationship between both countries.
The embassy had a dream to bring Chinese doctors, nurses, and even help doing some medical infrastructures here to help Grenadians. Ambassador discussed many times with Minister of Health, and today is a beginning, and also it's a day of dream come true for our embassy. And Grenada and China are great friends and partners. We have a lot of cooperation in many fields. And this year so far, we have already trained over 100 Grenadians in many training courses in many areas.
Minister of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette, is hopeful that what is learned during the course will be translated into good practices in the healthcare sector.
As a result of some of the professional challenges that we are having across the healthcare fraternity and nursing fraternity and clinical fraternity, I believe training like these, they sort of jolt us into the reality that it restores and solidifies the kind of behaviors and attitudes and knowledge and skills that we should be displaying as professionals at this level of the healthcare sector.
Reporting for the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, I am Blossom Alexis Welsh.
And finally, more than 50 students of the T.A. Marisho Community College 2023 graduating class were recognized and awarded for academic excellence this week. The inaugural award ceremony and dinner was held at the Grenada Trade Center for top performers with a grade point average of 3.50 and more. Featured Speaker Director of Master of Education at St. George's University, Dr. Caroline Henry Packer, encouraged the awardees to let their focus, achievement and thirst for excellence be the driving force for a successful future.
As a result of this legacy, you will go into the world as the shining stars that you are, convinced of your capacity to illuminate the dark spaces and to blaze your own trails. And you may be asking yourself, well, why am I confident of this? Well, researchers tell us that a person's sense of self is formed in their mid to late teens, and they say it remains fixed for the rest of their lives. So in other words, the values and the mindsets about how you show up and how you take up space wherever you go, it's being evidenced right here today.
Principal Dr. Ronald Brunton stressed the need for the awardees to use the challenges and lessons from TAMCC to propel them to persevere as they move forward.
Tonight, you should reflect on the winding journey that brought you to this moment. A journey filled with trials, triumphs, and countless lessons. You have preserved through sleepless nights and daunting challenges. You have weathered storms, emerged stronger. You have grown into scholars, leaders, and change makers. But this moment is not just about the past, it's about the future. It's about the boundless possibilities that await you beyond these walls, beyond the walls of TAMCC. As you step into the world, you will encounter there will be challenges, setbacks, and uncertainties. That's the nature of life, so you're going to have to get used to it. But I want you to remember that the very fact that you are standing here amongst us tonight, adorned with these accolades, is testament to your resilience.
That ends the Week in Review for today. Until next time, I am Rakisha St. Louis.